Hi, my name is Koku with blackfilm.com, and I'm here with Dee Smith, director, editor, cinematographer, producer, two-time Grammy nominated producer, singer, and songwriter, and now making her film debut as director of the documentary Kokomo City. Koku and Kokomo City. Thank you for joining me so much, Dee Smith. It's truly an honor to speak to you.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here for sure.
Thank you. So I actually, I did watch Kokomo City. I had a chance to watch it at Sundance, and I've actually interviewed Harris Duran, and I kind of stalked him. Yeah, from what he did, fuck him right back. And I was like, I gotta talk to this guy. So I just went, and he does his own thing, like he does his own PR. So he was very, very reachable. So yeah, I'm so glad you guys were able to put this film out. I have so many things to ask you. So I want to, first of all, I want to begin by acknowledging the passing of Coco the doll. So my sincerest condolences to you. And I know she meant the world to those that knew her and loved her. And I've seen there's so many dedications to her in that respect. I want to know what your headspace is or where you're at when specifically with this film was to highlight these injustices. And then something so terrible and just unthinkable happens to someone who is a cast member in this film, really showing us a piece of their lives and the dangerous phase. Where were you at with that when you heard that news?
Well, emotionally, I was definitely not ready. I was in La La Land, celebrating a triumphant, rollout, if you will. And speaking of Coco, I remember the girls seeing the film for the first time at Sundance. I've held it for almost 2 years before they had seen it. And my God, just the excitement in her eyes. It's just hard to explain. She had this almost innocence, this childlike desire and insatiable need to literally see herself make it on that screen and telling her truth, man. It was like so gratifying, and it haunts me in the best way. And but obviously, devastating loss. And I tried my best as a director, and I will continue to do that. I want to focus more on the human side and our happier sides as well, because that is there no matter who we lose or what we lose, or we are still human, and people, we experience losses. So when I heard the news of Coco, I was so devastated. There's so many reasons why. And I did the film because I wanted to encourage and inspire and make trans people and Black people happy. And I don't know, I just wanted to shake something up. And so losing Coco just set me back so far. I'm like, why? Why? And it had to happen. No matter had she been in the film or not, it was going to happen. That was what's going to happen, and I'm just grateful that I was able to capture her in her raw, true, divine femininity and her transgenderism and being her true self. And I couldn't ask for nothing more gratifying than that, to be a part of someone's life in that way.
I want to talk about the selection process of each individual, because all of the ladies, they were really, really like charming and hilarious. There was so much to see, and just, these colorful personalities, and just what went into each story. And were there people that maybe didn't necessarily make the cut?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the people that didn't want to, there was reasons why, but there's various reasons. You kind of look at people, and then you sit with them a little bit and get more into their demeanor or their behaviors and stuff like that. It was a certain je ne sais quoi, if you will, that I was looking for. I was looking for stars. I wanted girls that was going to really turn it and just give me what I think people want to see, which is just true dialogue and great storytelling, and also people that could draw people, right? People that weren't too over the top where you couldn't listen to them, you couldn't watch them. I just wanted something that felt natural and genuine. And these girls really they just checked all the boxes.
And then, your own personal story plays out a little publicly. Well, I'll start by saying, first of all, you're a celebrity in your own right. We were talking about the music. You're familiar, of course, with reality TV, but also very publicly, your boyfriend has been able to acknowledge and say, like, listen, I'm nobody's hiding for anybody. We've got a real love here. And he's very, very happy to acknowledge and to love you and to tell the whole world about it. And you have received a lot of support in that respect. What was it like to see that there was no backlash in that respect? Because I know, and we'll talk about some of the things that happened to you early on, but right now in this moment, knowing that he's just like, look, this is my girl. Like, I don't care what anybody thinks about it. What does that feel like to know that?
Even just hearing you talk about it, I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, this sounds hot. Like, and no matter what a man looks like, a man that can project that type of authority or that sort of conviction you can't get no more sexier than that. And,
I agree.
I've known Dustin since 2014 and, things got heated really quickly between us, like sparks were flying. We couldn't stop it. But, it wasn't time. It wasn't time, but we met, we knew each other existed and we could not stay away from each other. Right. And so one thing I do want to say, this is with women or trans women or men or anyone that you think you belong to or belong with in a journey in this life, you have to be mature enough and strong enough, dedicated enough to allow them to grow. And I never pushed him. I never begged him, and I never lowered my integrity for him. I just let him free and let him experience life. He's a man. Right. Yeah. But as hard as it was to not be with him sometimes, he's everything I needed him to be now. And I'm so happy for him. He asked me how he should do this and he wanted to do it. And I told him, you know what, you should say exactly how you feel and say what you would want to hear a guy say if they were in that situation. And he did that. He killed it and he ate that.
He did. He definitely did. Yeah. And I think, and again, like you said, not to make it about anything superficial, I think that a lot of times people want to make it seem as if there's sort of some people living like under the stairs or something like that, like a certain type of character or person that could love, a woman or love a beautiful woman, trans or otherwise. It's going to be a certain kind of person just based on whatever the challenges or hardships that they may face. And he is a very handsome man. So there are people that are saying, oh, wow. So, a handsome guy can love a trans woman and it's not a big deal. And this is who he loves and they love. Yeah. So I think it actually was more important in that sense. And again, not to make it superficial, but I think it made things a little more clear to people in that way.
But you know what? It's not superficial because it's just the psychology of society. Because if he was, and this is no offense if it's the case for someone, but if he was fat and had one leg and had hearing aid, it would almost be, okay, well, she's transgender, so but no, it's very much like I have a heart. I'm a very caring person and I have a lot to bring to the table for any man, rich, poor, fat, blind, it doesn't matter. Trans women have to set the reset button and create boundaries with these men that are using us privately.
Yes.
They all do it, and they all would want to try you and go that route. And I think the saddest part is that it's very hard for us as people and as women to say no to a man that we want. It's so hard.
No, you're right. Because I think, and this is not just, again, you're right. You're just speaking about the experience of being a woman. A lot of times, like, so many red flags, so many things. It's like, you just want you to receive the love. And however it comes, and we put ourselves in these situations that are dangerous, that are not good for us. And you could talk it out loud. Like if a friend was telling you this is what they're going through, you'd be like, girl, like, why?
Exactly. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. And I've been that, and I've been before. The same things that I would tell my friend, I'm not taking my own advice, but that's what makes it so hard. It's like, it's so easy to tell someone to leave that man or leave him alone, or girl, he ain't no good. But to do that, you have to do that. And it's so hard. It's very hard to do. It's very.
I think one of the things that really resonated with me was Dominique was really hardcore, like also talking about the Black experience, about just like, listen, Black Lives Matter, Black Power, like above all, you got to respect me as a Black woman. And that was so, so important. And I think that people kind of get caught up in not really understanding that there's layers to this. Again, I'm Black. I have to deal with a lot of things just based on that. And there's so many things that we have to deal with in our journey as Black women. And I just want to know, like, when you found somebody that was as loud and proud as Dominique. I wanted to know what your thoughts were about a lot of what she had to share.
Well, you don't
I'm
find
talking about Daniela.
Daniela, right.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Daniela.
I know. You don't find, first of all, I didn't know Daniela before the film. I didn't know any of the girls. I hadn't even heard of Daniela, but a mutual friend had recommended her. And I looked her up on YouTube, and she did 3 TED Talks.
Oh, I didn't know that. No, I did not know that.
So this is the power of being a visionary.
Yeah.
She was extraordinary. She was great. But her words felt really measured and calculated. And I already know where that comes from. It just comes from, I don't want to fuck this up. I'm on a stage. People are watching me. I'm growing my brand. I'm on a platform, I look important. I feel safe. I feel successful. I'm spilling my guts. But it wasn't truly her saying it. And if you look at it and then come back to Kokomo City, you see how vibrant and how happy and strong and empowered she is. That's the power of telling Black people's stories, letting Black people talk and speak their mind. Like, a lot of these organizations, they're here to help us, but a lot of them are really dividing us,
Yeah, I agree.
They don't want to hear that, but I'm gonna say it. A lot of them have created these narratives and these talking points to just piss each other off. I could barely talk to my own blood brother anymore because he doesn't know how I'm going to come at him or how he's going to say something, because politically he doesn't know. It's just, how did this happen?
It's gotten real contentious.
We can't even talk. We can't talk, and it's got to the point, I don't even know as a trans woman what to say to a trans woman. I don't even know how to talk to anybody anymore. And that's, I don't feel human that way. We want to feel humanized, but then we become dehumanized by all the extra safety guardrails and the points and people start to resent us because it was like, everybody wants to feel safe. Black women, white women, kids, everybody wants to feel safe. But we're scrutinized. Our situation is scrutinized, and I want us to be safe, but I also want us to experience the human experience with other humans so that we could be a part of society.
That's great to hear. I want to talk about the men in this film because I definitely do. We have, and I don't want to give anything away, but there's experiences where people are completely in love, head over heels, and this is the one type of thing. And then there's also men that, you highlighted experience of men that maybe it was their first time dating a trans woman, but they were, it was something new to them, but they realized like, well, it's not really different at all. She's still to be loved. And I love this person. Like, why would I let this change anything? Like, why would I keep myself? And I guess that's really what a lot of the negativity that we talk about, but it's like, if you love somebody and this person is your person, why would you let society, or why would you keep yourself away from that? I can't mentally, like, I just can't fathom that. Like, it's very simple to me, but it's so simple, but I do love in the film how you illustrated it so well, like what people may be dealing with, how some people are just like, listen, this is who I am. I don't care what you think. Or again, we talk about, and I don't want to make this like some sort of quiche, like I don't want to, just use basic terms, but we talk about the concept of somebody being trade, where they present as very, I guess, sort of straight presenting, but in fact, they prefer to, or they don't necessarily care. They exist in a spectrum. And, how important was that to show the men in the film?
I mean, look, they weren't seen sneaking out of a fucking hotel.
Right.
They weren't shamed by a trans woman saying he did this, he did that. They weren't embarrassed by their girlfriends or baby moms. These are men that came as men, Black men. And honestly, I didn't have to beg any of them. A couple of them actually asked to be a part of it, so the enthusiasm and the eagerness and the urgency that these men expressed to be a part of this, to help me tell this story, was so riveting. It was stunning to me because, again, the narrative for Black men that are even friends, nothing sexual, even friends with trans women, they're scrutinized, they're shamed, they're embarrassed. It's like, what are we spending all this time on as Black people? What are we talking about? Like, seriously. Like every time there's a category or a department that we're putting each other in, we're just becoming more and more dispersed, more and more vulnerable, more and more useless, more and more invaluable, more and more empowered, less powered. And we're doing it in front of the entire world. We cannot invest in who's fucking who anymore.
Right.
That is ridiculous.
That needs to be on a banner. Like we got to put it on the trail, put it in the sky while I'm laid out on the beach. I need to see. I don't care who's effing who. I don't care. I never have. I really have never.
Don't hurt children and don't be mean to elderly people, and we're good.
Right, exactly.
We're good.
That's the baseline. Now can we move on and see if we're
Can we move on and get our community together? Now, how are we going to clean up our neighborhoods? How are we going to stop men from gangbanging? How are we going to, teach men that it's okay to be emotionally balanced? How are we going to do that? We need to get back into that. We need to tap back into ourselves, man. Like we need to get back into who we are, and no matter what, gay people and trans people are in the Black community. We've been there forever. We're not going to go anywhere. So what we should do is just accept that fact. However long it takes, we have to do that first. And we have to learn to heal as a community. We have to. Oh my God, we're a mess.
Because the issue is not that the gay people or trans people exist. It's the issue is the people who cannot find it within themselves to admit that they love, and they're grappling with their own emotional space. And I try to be a very objective individual. I know that things are not easy, but I think that once people realize like it's okay to be me, like you really have to internally be okay with yourself. Then it's gonna be it's an uphill climb,
How can you do that if you don't have the support as a child?
Exactly. No, that's
so it's like, but then how do you tell another parent how to raise their child when everybody's angry when the word trans or LGBT or gay or bi comes up? It's a complete. It's how do we do this? Like how do we do this? Like how do we do this? So it's a very deep. It's really deep.
It's not simple, and it's not a question that you and I can answer in a day, even or in a week. It's just one of those things that we just have to, I don't know. It's just been an issue, and fortunately, there are individuals like you, D. Smith, who are willing to put yourself out there, on the front lines and just say, listen, I'm here to be loved. I'm here to love. I am in love. Yes. And it's wonderful to see. And I know it's been an uphill climb. I know there's aspects to how you got here that were not easy, but I'm glad that you're in a good space. I truly am.
Thank you. God is good, and I'm happy. And I just wanted to say to any LGBT people to remember to take care of yourself. I know we're all fighting, even if we're not publicly fighting. Just remember to just take a break from all of the war, the fight, and just ease your mind sometimes, like reset and take that time. The fight's going to still go on while you're taking a break. It's not going to disintegrate, but just take care. We have to take care of ourselves mentally.
And I mean, I know, and I say this in the very best way, most people, like really good people, don't necessarily set out to be role models. So I know you're not necessarily living your life, you're just living your life, right? But a lot of times just what you're doing, even when you get up in the morning and, eat your morning breakfast and have your coffee or your juice, everything that you're doing is so important because people see you, right? And they know that you exist and they know that you have happiness, and that can happen for them.
That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. But go at your own pace and take care of yourself.
Absolutely. No, I thank you so much. Like I said, it's been an honor. I was so excited when I got the call. I was like, yes, because I tried to make the first initial press run and there was so much going on. And again, like I know Harris, I bumped into him at Tribeca, like, Harris, I'm the one that interviewed. And Harris actually snuck me into a party that I wasn't even, I wasn't supposed to be in. He was like, yes, he was like,
you'll be sitting on the corner looking crazy in the heartbeat, messing with that.
He was like, oh no, she's in me. He was like, who are you with? I was like, oh, he's like, oh no, they're with me, So we over there, we're just like eating hors d'oeuvres, everything. So listen, this is all very special to me for different ways. But I thank you so much for your time. Once again, thank you so much. Once again, my name is Koku with blackfilm.com, and I'm here with D. Smith, who is the director of the documentary KOKOMO City. You can watch. Where can we see KOKOMO City?
It's going to be in theaters July 28th this year.
Great.
Coming up.
Coming up, guys, July 28th. It is a must-see. I was very excited about it. Again, I did my digging, and Harris even reached out to me like, hey, listen, are you still doing the festivals? I said, yes. Yes, so it was definitely great to speak with you, and thank you so much for doing this, because you are changing lives every day, just simply being you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
If you want to see more content like this on blackfilm.com, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell.